Hi everyone, we are going to start drawing a house in SketchUp today. So open SketchUp, go to Products, SketchUp Pre, Start Modeling, while you're waiting for SketchUp to open, well, let's create new. Remember, we always use feet and inches in architecture. And here we have it. Now, before you start drawing, you need to go to Canvas and open up our house plan. So our house plan looks like this. And what we're going to do is to look at this and take the dimensions from this house plan and then put them in SketchUp. So the first dimension we'll do will be the total width of it. Now we never did get to dimensioning, but in dimensioning you never repeat the same dimension. So here we have dimensions at the bottom, but we don't have the overall. So the overall then is up here. So that's 31 feet 6 inches. And the depth of this wall here is 30 feet. So remember 31/6 and 30 feet. So let's go to SketchUp, and let me move the screen a little wider so you can see the tools. Okay, so let's start with Draw, and I'm going to click and take it this way. Make sure you're on the red axis, and I've already forgotten the dimension, so let's look at it again. It is 31 feet 6 inches, so go back here. That's wrong, so click here, drag, make sure it's on the red axis, 31 feet 6, enter. So you don't have to do a comma if all of it is one dimension. And of course that's kind of putting me in an odd place, but that's not a problem. We'll fix that in a minute. Now the depth of it is going to be 30 feet. For this next wall, so make sure you have it on the green axis. Hit 30 feet. Now let's go back to the drawing and see what it says next. So sometimes you have to do a little math to make it work. So the total thing is, let's just do this other wall over here. So that is 39 feet depth. So let's go back to that. Back to our SketchUp drawing. I'm going to minimize this. Okay, start here. Make sure we're on the what axis? The green axis. And I've already forgotten the dimension again. 39 feet. So go back 39 feet on the green axis. 39 feet. Okay, let's look at it from the top to be sure that things are good. So I need to open up the screen a little bit for you. Let's see where I can do that. So remember, we're going to go over here and look at scenes or views. Click view. We're going to click the top one, and we're going to look at it to see if we're in good shape. We are. But where they have the axes here, but since I didn't start it far enough over, it's kind of distracting, and we don't really need it anyway. So let's get rid of that. So let's come over here to, let's see where we're going to find that. I thought it was in views, but it's not. Let's see if that's it. Okay, here we go. So I clicked on this thing that looks like eyeglasses, and it's called Display. We are going to click off axes and see how that makes it go away. Okay, so let's go back and look at our drawing and get some more dimensions. Okay, so this time we see that the dimension from the inside wall to the inside wall, it's going to be 2 times 6 feet 9 inches. So that's 9 and 9 would be 1.5 feet. 6 and 6 is 12, so that's 13.5 inches. But we also need to make allowances for the wall. So that would be the minimum for exterior walls should be 6 inches. So these will be 6 inches apiece. So if we had 13.6, now we have 14 feet. So let's go back to that, back to our drawing. Do a line. Pull this over here again. Draw a line, 14 feet. And then I'm going to come down. Now obviously I want this to be lined up with this. So I'm going to just touch it and bring it over and see how it's lined up. And then I'm going to come over here and click. So now we have the exterior walls of our building, or the exterior line. Notice how it also made a plane here, but we don't need that plane, we only need the walls. So I'm going to click that, right click, and erase. The next thing we're going to do is to make the wall thickness. Remember I said earlier that our exterior wall should be at least 6 inches. Interior walls, the standard is 4. So I'm going to use the offset tool. Remember we used offset in AutoCAD. So come over here to where it says the push-pull item. Click there, and then we're going to choose this bottom icon, the offset. So I'm going to select, let's see, I'll select it all, and then I'm going to hit offset. Click it and pull it down and see how it's offsetting. So I'm going to type in 6, enter, and then I have my offset walls. One thing I'm going to do here is see how every time you do an enclosed shape in SketchUp it will form a plane. In this case we can use this plane. I'm going to click on it once because I don't want to get these lines here because I need those for the walls. Remember if I clicked on it twice I would get the lines. So click once, right click, and I'd forgotten. It won't let us make a group without the walls, so we may have to redraw those walls. So double click, right click, and we're going to do make group. Remember we're making this something that won't be affected by other things. And we'll need the floor later, but we don't now. So for now we're going to hide it. So right click on the object and hit hide, and then it's gone. If you want to see where it is, remember how we had the display open? Go over here and click hidden geometry and hidden objects and see how it shows up, but we're going to turn those off for now because we don't want to see it. So we've got our floor made, but now we need the walls again for our exterior walls. So let's once more let's select all of our walls, go to offset, click and drag out, type 6, enter. Now we have our exterior walls, and I will click here to delete the floor because we already have one. Now one thing you notice, we don't have a plane in here. So sometimes when SketchUp doesn't do a plane and you want it, all you have to do is add a line, but that's not working this time. So somewhere we must have a hole, so we have to figure out where that is. So I'm just going to draw a line across here and see what happens. Okay, so now see how we've got it filled in a plane everywhere. And a lot of times if you just take that out, so we obviously don't need these lines anymore, so I'm going to take those out. I'm going to zoom in and be careful to hit the line and not the plane. See how I got the plane there? Just hit the line. Okay, and now I'm going to click in the center to get rid of, to erase my floor. So now I have walls, so I have lines and a plane. And the reason the plane is important is because we can't extrude an object without having the plane in the middle of the two lines. So let's go look at our drawing again and see how high these walls are going to be. Okay, so I need to zoom over to look and see. Here we go. All right, so the total height of the walls is going to be 12 feet. See, this is the roof above it. So let's go back to our SketchUp drawing. And I'm going to use the Orbit tool to turn it a little bit so I can see it three-dimensionally. And I'm going to make these walls 12 feet tall. How I do that is with the Push-Pull tool. So I go over here right now. It's set on offset, but I need to choose this, click on it, pull up, type in 12 feet, enter. Whoops, and that didn't work. Let me try again. SketchUp is a great tool, but sometimes it just does strange things that nobody understands. That time it worked perfectly. So now I have the exterior walls drawn. So you can turn in this for an assignment, and the next video will include how to draw the interior walls.